Hey, everybody, and for today's progressive programming workout, we're going to go back to our primary strength, the deadlift. Now, in today's session, we're going to come back to 5 sets of 2, working between 87 and 92%. And again, just like last week, we want to make sure that we are not touch and go these reps. We want to try to maintain that single aspect. So once you pull it, we can lower back down to the ground, reset, reorganize, take the tension out of the bar, tension out of the shoulders, and stand it up. What we don't want to do is touch and go reps. We want to practice that reset up sequence at the ground. Now, these are not light weights. We are working at a heavy percentage here today. So make sure that if you need to take a little extra rest in between reps, even limit yourself to maybe like a 30-second period in between the first to the second rep. But then at the same time, we need to make sure that we're allowing ourselves a lot of rest in between the actual working sets. So once you complete the 2, take a break, sit down, take a load off, and then come back to it a couple minutes later. Now, as we warm up to these working sets, let's make sure that we're just sticking with single reps as we progress ourselves up to that 87%. And at the same time, remember the percentages are more of a advice as far as what weight we want to be working towards as far as our progressions from this month. But at the same time, if we're not able to maintain good mechanics, good positioning throughout the whole pull, then we need to think about scaling the load back a little bit, and maybe we're just working up to that 87% for today. Now, once you have finished off the deadlifts for the session, we're going to go ahead and transition into some more deadlifts. We got 15, 12, 9 of sumo deadlift high pulls and pull-ups. So this is going to be a little nasty combination for the grip and the pulling muscles. So starting out on the sumo deadlift high pull, make sure that we are setting our stance up slightly wider than our squat stance, and make sure that it is a hip driven movement, meaning we're not pulling with our arms until the very last second. Similar to on a rower, we want to drive those legs, lean through the hips, and then finish through the arms. Same thing here. If we start to pull too soon, too early, it's throwing the whole mechanics out of the window, and it's just going to overtax the biceps and the arms in general, considering that we need those when we get onto the pull-ups. So very hip-driven movement on the sumo deadlift high pull, and the same thing with the pull-ups. Ideally, we want to maintain a kipping pull-up for today, assuming the kipping skill is available. If we need to scale this back, scale it back to a band-assisted, or we need to scale even further, let's go to a jumping chest-to-bar pull-up. So I want to make sure that we're emphasizing that this is not just primarily a strict pattern, but we're trying to recruit more parts of our body to make this a little bit more efficient so we can go faster. We don't want to find ourselves looking at the bar and just waiting for the recovery to get back onto it. We want to keep moving through it. So we got 15, 12, 9, and trying to get through it as fast as possible. That's it for today. Have fun.